Morning.
What are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about how to have a great mental health month. So we shouldn't just be talking about this in March. Let's talk about it right now as the colder temperatures come in and the sun isn't out. And we'll give you 5 tips and a bonus to get that done.
How to have a good mental health.
No, a great one. Let's not go for good.
Well.
We're going for that stretch goal.
All right. We're on live right now at W4 TV, Facebook.com/W4Country, YouTube.com/W4Country. You can join us there. You can join us there.
The end.
It's not false.
You're innovating. This is fantastic. You're innovating. This is a new thing that's going to catch on. Changing the industry. How much time do we have?
2 minutes and 42 seconds.
Okay, because I want to tell you something.
Kyle? Yeah, sure.
Okay, I want to tell you what I did this weekend.
What'd you do?
Okay, so I went up to Boyne. You know that giant bridge? Have you heard about that? It's
No.
like it's the first year, right? So there's this bridge stretched across this big, what would you call it, Brian Welch? It's a giant, you're like going 2 mountains. It's connecting almost like 2 mountains. They're not mountains, but it's really high. Yeah, but it's big. I want to say that. And I'm going up there to like look at like pretty colors. Right. So I'm going like, oh, this is going to be like calming, beautiful colors. This bridge sways back and forth. First of all, you have to wait in line like Cedar Point, man. It like took forever and it was kind of hot. But you get on this bridge and the only entertainment I had was you're passing people. They're walking towards you from the other side just to see the terror on their faces. And then at one point there's like this glass so you can look at how high up you are. You know what? Don't do it unless you want like a thrill ride. This is a thrill ride. It's not. And I'm thinking,
that doesn't sound good at all.
And I'm thinking, I'm testing it because this is the first year that's had this many people on it ever because it just went up. So that was my weekend. I'm so happy to be alive. I'm so happy to see you. No, I didn't. No, I didn't enjoy it.
It sounds fun. I want to go.
Do you, to the degree you enjoy terror? That's how much you like.
I mean,
this.
There's a similar bridge in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Yes, they're the ones that made it. I read the plaque. You're right.
And so, I mean, I've been on that, and I looked down through the glass.
I wouldn't go on that. Why would I go on that?
But was it windy? Was it like moving back and forth?
It wasn't. So that moving is a different thing, and that would be a little scarier.
That's the only problem I have with it. You know what I mean? I'm fine if it's stable, but the fact that I'm that high up and something's moving, psychologically, I'm thinking this is not stable.
Good morning, Cindy. I agree. Hello, Brian. Good morning. No, I agree with you, Marty. If that thing's moving, I don't trust any of it. I don't trust rides at Disney, the gold standard, let alone someone that slapped up a bridge in Boyne.
Ferris wheel scared me last time. That was the most terrifying ride I've been on. It's slow moving, but I'm thinking equipment. Like, what if, nothing's perfect. Fail safe.
In the London Eye, and I thought, what if this thing breaks loose and just starts rolling?
Right. Now put me on like a rocket or something, I'd be fine, like that dragster.
I think it would just tip over.
Or crack in the middle or what? I don't have any paper. I have nothing to write on. Damn it. 102.9 W4 Country in Florida, Georgia line. Stay. It's the Breakfast Above a show in the morning, 7:45. The Monday morning Jumpstart with Marty. And we're talking about how to have an amazing month with winter temperatures starting to set in maybe soon. I mean, we're good today and stuff like that. Marty's got 5 points. He's here every single Monday to try to make things just a little bit better. We want to shine a light on mental health and just say, hey, you know what? You need to pay attention to this. It's important. What are your 5 points, Marty? Oh, I'll give us the first one at least.
Okay, first one. Here we go. Find 3 people you can talk with about your life and also listen to them. In other words, have a conversation. Listening to other people is really important too, right? That helps us, and it's a good skill to develop. But find 3 people. You don't want to just have one because you might burn them out or something,
Boy, I'm shocked you're still with me. I mean, granted, I pay you to talk to me on Tuesdays, but there comes a point when it's like this isn't worth it.
Also, you're improving. So if you weren't, I would send you to someone else.
Okay, there you go. So do you count as one of my 3?
Yes, yes. It can be a professional. It can be family member. Someone who wants to listen to you, and someone that who's interested in you. But write them down if you need to. And make it a goal to reach out to them once a week, maybe.
All right, what's point number 2?
2, we say this a lot. You got to keep active. Like if I'm in a rut, I'm not going to be able to think myself out of it probably if I'm in a rut. I just got to get moving. I don't care if it's folding clothes or going out for a walk. I'm really a fan of getting outside even when it's cold. Just buy some clothes to get outside. You feel invigorated when you come back in, but you got to move. We're made to move.
I raked yesterday, Marty, and I felt awful the rest of the day.
Did you think yourself into that awful state?
No, I just felt awful. I felt like chemically awful. What is it that your body releases when you exercise?
Well, I mean, one thing's adrenaline to get you moving. Cortisol is a little stress hormone.
Okay, so I haven't exercised
endorphins
in like a year and a half, and I think I have a whole bunch of that stored up, and it just all came out at once.
I don't know.
I think it was just too much because I just
it's the day we've been waiting for.
I didn't feel good.
Do you guard it? You didn't get any satisfaction
out of Marty. Look at me. Do I garden?
I know.
No, I don't. I usually hire everything done.
Rake leaves, folks. It feels good to accomplish something.
That didn't feel good at all, and I accomplished it. It got done, and it doesn't feel good.
What did you feel? Resentful of the leaves?
I felt sick.
You should feel good about the job you did. You made a big accomplishment, something that you've never done before. You did it.
And I thought, what did I pay the kid last year? $25 an hour. I thought, you know what? I'd rather write a check for $50 and get this done.
That brought you more joy, just watching someone do it?
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, no doubt. All right. Time right now is 7:48. Let's get you to the Brighton Ford Traffic Center. What's going on?
We have some heavier traffic on US 12 around 23 and on 23 northbound right through 12. Also heavier on 94 westbound. That starts around Michigan Avenue, continues off and on all the way to State Street. A little heavier, on US 12 right around 23. A little heavier traffic on Main Street through downtown Chelsea and just north of there as well. We do have some heavier traffic on Washtenaw and on Plymouth roads right around 23. Heavier traffic on Ford Road ahead of 14 and right around Prospect. We also have some heavier traffic on 14 right through Ford Road on the westbound side there. We have heavier traffic on 23 southbound starting around 96, and it's a little heavier on 96 right there at the interchange as well on the eastbound side. And then the 23, the slowdowns continue from 96 all the way down almost to Silver Lake Road. We have heavier traffic on 96 eastbound through the construction. It starts around Pleasant Valley. It's very slow moving through Kensington, and then that continues until about Kent Lake. And then we have some heavier traffic through the construction on 275 north and southbound kind of intermittently throughout the whole stretch there. If you have a tip for us, 734-623-1029. That's the latest from the only station specializing in your local traffic, 102.9 W4 Country.
And now's when the interesting part of the Monday Morning Jumpstart goes on. And you can only see it if you're at W4 TV. So go to Facebook.com/W4 Country, YouTube.com/W4 Country, and we'll chat there. Well, starting now.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Fall into a hiring spree with Indeed.
Excuse me. Verge of coughing that whole thing.
Cindy, I don't know if you were listening earlier. I just want to light my whole yard on fire. I really thought of just misting it and just setting it ablaze.
I told you why that was not a good idea.
Because by the time the fire department got there, it would be out.
And your neighbors, the house would be on fire and half the block would be up in smoke.
I don't think that leaves are enough to light a house on fire.
It would be exciting.
If you're misting like kerosene though, you want to make sure it's not blowing.
Because I do have a bug sprayer. I do
Yeah.
have one of those at home. I can put kerosene in that, pump it up full of air, just spray it and set it ablaze.
I don't think that's a good idea.
And my blower comes tomorrow, by the way, Cindy. I ordered a blower the second that I was done. I don't know where I'm going to blow them to, but I have a blower. Because doesn't that take skill? Doesn't that take skill to like blow them into a pile?
I guess you could
Or do I need
categorize
to
that as
wait?
a skill.
Probably takes a little practice.
This is probably one of those things that just suckers you in and, it's going to be easy. You get to blow and then you got to rake.
I think you
bet
could
that's
learn.
what it is, isn't it? Somebody can tell me the answer right here. You have to blow and then rake.
I don't know.
That's the fun
See,
of it.
in my mind, a blower is more to clear a place off. It's not so much to gather leaves.
I mean,
Does
if
it
I could
work?
get away with just blowing it out of my neighbor's property, it would be fine. But I have Dr. George that lives to the right and Dr. Mary that lives to the left, and I happen to like both of them.
I think you need to hire somebody.
Last year, the kid just blew him. I don't know where he blew him. I didn't pay attention.
How about your walks on the B2B with McKenna?
I did it twice a day this weekend.
Now, how did you feel before? How did you feel after?
Well, all but one I felt good because I did one of them after I raked the leaves.
You're still resentful of that?
I was sweaty. I don't like sweating.
Just hearing a lot of complaints from me.
No, it's true. I don't like to sweat.
Are you a compliant?
What's wrong with that?
Are you a compliant patient with your doctor?
No, of course not. He doesn't even go to the doctor because he's bad stuff.
He doesn't want to comply.
No.
Yeah, he'd have to go to the doctor.
Right.
And then I'd have to be honest, and I'm not going to tell him that I'm getting prescriptions in Cancun.
I started doing yoga this weekend.
There you go. Beautiful. Man, a little bit goes a long way, doesn't it?
I started, yeah, it does. Because I did like a 10-minute, I found like a YouTube video and I did like a little 10-minute, I don't know, practice, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And man, I'm like, she's like, oh, move your neck around or whatever. And I'm like, whoa, I haven't heard that before. Because
It's like Rice Krispies.
everything is just
it?
cracking. And I'm like, wow. So since the last time I did yoga, I have lost a lot of flexibility.
I come back.
The stretching felt good, but there was a lot of popping and clicking and cracking.
I think even 5 minutes of that, just, some basic stretches, it helps me. It's just my mood. I just noticed it, 5 minutes is all.
I did feel really good about it on Saturday. That was my first day, and we got a lot accomplished on Saturday after that. That was a good way to start the day. Yesterday, I didn't spend that much time on it, but I still did it, and I'll do it today.
I wrote all my lines on Saturday into a book, and now I can listen to A Christmas Story and know when I should speak.
Okay.
I'll be listening to it. It's like, oh, I need to talk there. I don't know what I have to say there, but I know I need to talk there.
So you recognize your cues at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
I recognize
That's
the cues,
progress.
which is good.
Do you film yourself practicing the lines?
Oh, God, no. I'd end up in an extra session with you every week.
No, you should really. Yeah. When we play music, like you never really know what it is because your attention isn't focused on everything. But it's good to record. I don't know. Do what they say. I'm not an actor, but I'm saying for music, it works that way.
But I learned one thing about the Encore in the last year that we've become like tighter partners with them is that they really know their shit. The people that are doing stuff are like really good.
Yeah, so stop worrying about other people.
Like the music,
just focus on yourself.
The music director, I'm like, oh, he's a nice guy. What's he done? And I looked him up, and he's like, he's worked at the Kennedy Center for God's sake.
Yeah, they're professional. When do tickets go on sale? Are they on sale now?
They're on sale now. It's 25% sold out.
Oh, I better get some.
I don't know when they decide if they're going to add additional shows or not, but I know that's a possibility.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm going to buy them fast anyway.
I thought it'd be good for like company Christmas parties because you own a business. You don't want the liability of like alcohol.
Right.
Like that's a big thing when you own a business. It's like you don't want to, and it sucks, but you don't want to serve unless you have a place for them to sleep. You don't want to serve employees alcohol because
right,
disaster waiting to happen. I thought it'd be fun for companies to buy like blocks of tickets.
I think you're right.
What is it? $35-$50 a person? I don't know what the play costs.
Oh, you're getting off cheap.
Yeah, and then you could invite the families of the people, and it'd be fun.
I think that's a great idea. I wish radio still did Christmas parties.
I'm kind of glad they don't.
Well, something like that would be cool. I don't want to do like the whole
hotel
awkward
ballroom
dinner thing. Yeah.
Stand by. 102.9 W4 Country and El King backed up by Miranda Lambert and Drunk. I Don't Want to Go Home. 7:56, and we're hanging out with the Monday Morning Jumpstart and Dr. Marty. You could join us on W4TV, Facebook.com/W4Country, YouTube.com/W4Country. Already we've discussed tree bridges, things to see up north. We've discussed Madison's yoga. We've discussed leaf raking a little bit more. And now we're delving in behind the scenes of A Christmas Story, the musical. So please, there's lots to see at W4TV. We're talking about how to have a positive month. And point number 1 is find 3 people you could talk with about your life. Point 2 is keep active. What's number 3, Marty?
3 is up your nutrition game. Okay, so that has a giant effect. What we take in and what we don't take in has a giant effect. So that might mean trying to have like 80% whole food diet is really good. Maybe it's adding.
What does that mean? What does a whole food diet mean?
That means it's not processed food. It has cells. It's made of actual cells. It's like
Are Cheerios made of cells?
No, there's processed food. Do they grow on a tree? If you have a Cheerio tree, yes.
Because it says whole grain. I didn't know.
They put it in there and whatever. I mean, you can have some of that's hard to avoid. Also adding things like omega-3s that we're deficient in, like or fish oil, right, is a good way, of probiotics. But do a little research on it too. And here's the evidence, if you don't think that it has an effect, what we take in is people who fast or people who do cleanses have these awesome moods, right? And then we go back to our old diet again. So it has
just hunger delirium, though, Marty.
No, I don't think so. No,
I feel like if I fasted, it wouldn't be a mood anyone would want to see.
No.
Once you get past that first or second day, you start feeling great. Like
first or second day.
Yeah, I mean, go slow first. Like, so what I would do is I would say, okay, I'm going to eat all my food in an 8-hour window. Pick it. If you like breakfast, then start it. Whatever, 7, 8, and eat in that 8-hour window. Then after that, switch to herbal teas or something like that. That doesn't have calories in it. If you want to do that, you don't have to.
That's cookie talk, Marty. Let's move on.
Can the herbal teas have scotch in them?
I don't think scotch is an herb.
That's natural, right? I mean, it's
scotch has cells, doesn't it?
You just let it sit around long enough.
Yeah. More Dr. Marty coming up.
Always trying to find the loopholes, you guys.
Who would have thought the Cheerios weren't natural?
Who would have thought?
Let's find out what's going on in the Brighton Ford Traffic Center.
We have some slower traffic on 94 westbound. Starts around Michigan Avenue, continues through 23, and then it's still heavier till State. Heavier on US 12. Actually, some slowdowns on US 12 right around 23. And it looks like we have slowdowns on 12 and Carpenter. And just south of there, you're looking at some slower moving traffic, specifically on the northbound side of Carpenter as you're approaching Textile. We have some heavier traffic on Michigan Avenue around downtown Saline. We also have heavier traffic on Main Street through downtown Chelsea. We have heavier traffic on Main Street and Ann Arbor Street through downtown Dexter. It's very slow moving through there right now, actually. We have slower traffic on 14 westbound, starts around Ford Road, continues almost all the way to 23. It's a bit slower moving on Washtenaw and Plymouth right around 23 as well. Slower traffic right at the 23 and 96 interchange, especially on 23 southbound down to about Lee Road and 96 eastbound, starting around Spencer, continuing through 23, and then heavier on 96 westbound or eastbound, from Pleasant Valley all the way to Kent Lake. And then through the construction on 275, we're seeing some heavier traffic and some intermittent slowdowns both directions throughout there. If you have a tip for us, 734-623-1029. That's the latest from the only station specializing in your local traffic, 102.9 W4 Country.
This report is sponsored by Eaton, one of the world's most admired companies.
Cindy, I don't know. I've done it once and it was not super positive. Good morning, Susan. Louise.
That's a compliment for some people.
Oh, yeah. Level 0. Screwed up here. What is your view on vegetable supplements?
Okay, I use a product called Amazing Greens because I want to cover all my bases, make sure I'm not missing some micronutrients. So I'm a fan, but it depends on how high quality. I'll buy the better product than an inferior product because it's that important what you take into your body. So I'm a fan.
Amazing Greens, and they do the greens and they do the fruit one too, right?
They do a bunch of them. Like I got one that has like a cocoa in it.
When I burp up the vegetable one, it's awful, but you burp up the fruit one and it's good.
Gift that keeps giving.
I know you do your burp. It's what you taste when you
He wants to get his money's worth, Madison. He spent good money on that.
It's like a cow. Just
Yeah.
No truth. Without sugar, my mood is spectacular. With sugar and drag, I feel
there you go.
Funny how that works out, isn't it?
Well, it has a hormonal effect.
Debbie Bilal. Good morning. Are you related to Jacob in any way? Jacob and I are friends on Instagram. Jacob just got married.
Everybody got really quiet when you heard that. Jacob just got married.
I'll be honest, we're not like tight on Instagram. I thought he was married. Stand by 30 seconds. No. Stand by.
Good times, great food waiting for you. Dexter A&W. Breakfast with Bubba in the morning.
Here we are, 3 minutes after 8 o'clock, and I want to thank you for making us a part of your day. You found the Breakfast with Bubba show with Bubba and Madison Raleigh.
Good morning. Partly sunny skies today, and we are looking at highs in the mid-70s.
You're listening to WWWFM Ann Arbor. So very proud to be a Cumulus Media station. We got a keyword right now worth $100 up to $25,000.
Text the national keyword GOLD, GOLD, to 95819 for your chance to win.
You've got about an hour to get that in. Please don't text and drive. GOLD, GOLD, to 95819. Good luck from the morning show that makes you feel good and your free money station.
W4 Country.
All right. We are clear. Now, I really think when I exercised yesterday, it's literally been over a year since I've exercised. Because, I was bummed over the breakup and just didn't do anything. Done a lot of laying around. I think it was just too much.
It might have been.
Too much chemicals released.
What's the stuff that builds up in your muscles? The lactic acid.
Lactic acid, yeah.
I think I'm full of that now.
I
I can feel it in my shoulders.
Yeah.
Mostly it's in my back and my shoulders.
Do you like that pain? Like I like some. If it's not an injury pain, if I've worked for it, it's a reminder, right?
Yeah.
That I worked
If it feels like it's progress, then yes. But
that's what I'm talking about.
also it gets old.
I don't like any pain. I don't like sweat, and I don't like pain of any kind.
Life's going to be tough if
It's
you
already
don't like.
difficult, Marty. You deal with me every week.
You're doing good. I had 100 sleep rating. I had 4 hours of deep sleep because I missed some over the weekend. 4 hours. That's like double what you want.
How are you finding this out?
On my app, I've got a great app called Sleep Watch. And it measures like 7 variables of my sleep and rates them and compares against myself and heart rate variability. It's good. Good app. Heart Watch, Apple Watch.
I can see that inducing more anxiety in this room. Why is my score so low?
Yeah.
Why is my heart doing that?
There are mind games like, I failed sort of thing. So what I try to do is look at like, okay, this is data. I've won if I've discovered something. Sort of like scientific sort of method of saying, okay, now I can do something about it. It's a positive if it wasn't. But there is a reluctance when my patients, I ask them to keep data. Some of them will be like, I don't want to know. I'm like, well, don't judge yourself. We're going to correct it,
I'd seriously call Welch in the middle of the night. I need a ride to the Chelsea ER. My heart's doing funny things. Because I know if I called Madison, she'd just send me the voicemail.
Yeah, no, I would say, no, it's not. Go back to bed.
If I ever need help in the middle of the night, Welch is the one I'm calling.
Don't call here anymore tonight.
I just think you're probably most likely overreacting.
I'm just telling you, if it's as bad as you say, we wouldn't even make it to the hospital.
You're done for.
Yeah.
You're
If
you're a
it's that
goner.
bad, we won't even make it. So I'll see you in the morning, or I won't.
Thanks for the memories. Just in case. How many people are on?
Not many.
We had quite a few for a minute, but it's dropped down considerably.
If you're watching this, share it, please.
Tell your friends.
How much time?
Oh, we got a while.
Okay. Can I answer Cindy's question?
Yeah.
One thing you can do, yeah, there you go. If I were to recommend a good vitamin, I'm not a nutritionist. What I would do is there are some online programs that will take a look at your profile and see what you're deficient in. What I do right now, I just throw mud at the wall and hope it sticks, some of it.
Don't you pee all that out anyway?
Well, your body takes some in.
You read so much
There you
about I read articles every week. The vitamins are a waste of time.
Well, okay, so I looked at the research there, and some of those studies are just so poorly done. But if you take a look at Dr. Rhonda Patrick's work, she really digs into them and designs some good studies. I don't know how they fund them, but she does look at those studies, and I'm convinced now that it's
By the supplements she says work so well.
no, she's not in the she's an independent person. She doesn't have any affiliations that she stated.
Well, on the books, sure. Yeah.
So cynical, you people.
But I think what we've seen, and because we're taking a bunch of supplements on specific regimen for the doctor that we're working with right now, and I think some of it has to do with like how it's made and
Well,
what they
that's what we've
actually
really
use.
learned.
Yeah, in terms of like something like synthetic folic acid versus
Yes.
methylfolate.
Yeah,
where there are things that
bioavailability, right?
your body can metabolize more effectively than others.
And man, do you pay for the real stuff?
Yeah.
You do. I
If you're,
have to
if you're
spend money.
buying stuff that you'd find at a supermarket,
Yes.
there's a good
Yes.
chance that you're not retaining a lot of it, I think. But
Well, I mean, they've pulled some out of like sewage systems, and they can read the capsules. It's Centrum or something on it. You know what I mean? So you're right.
just the whole thing went right through.
Yeah, the whole thing went right through you, man.
Whoa.
It's better for food to get food and spend more money, I think, because I want things that I know have good soil and the nutrients I want. But it's food is your medicine, and I've really learned that since the pandemic, because there weren't a lot of things we could do. So I started really diving in to see what I can do to protect myself. And if I can do it with food, I will. But it's sort of an insurance policy on the other stuff. And then there's just some stuff that's just hard to get, and like fish oil. I mean, I don't eat enough salmon to probably get what I want.
We had salmon last night.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
Madison
it's so good.
probably the only person in this room that eats enough salmon to get what she needs.
Do you
Love-
grill it? How do you like it?
I'll
Do you
do it every different way. I love
poached
it.
everything?
I think the easiest is just sticking it in the oven because you can kind of
Mhm.
put it in there and forget about it. But last night I pan fried it for the first time in a while. I usually don't do that, and I made I don't know, Asian crispy salmon stir fry sort of.
Like ginger and soy sauce. And,
Barely even tastes like salmon.
Oh.
Stand by. 102.9 W4 Country and Brad Paisley. She's everything on the station that hasn't forgotten its roots. Going back to the 90s right now with Garth.
If she's my lady luck, I'm her wild card.
I'm liking the music you guys are playing.
We're doing a lot more 90s heavy stuff. In fact, that Brad Paisley, She's Everything. Isn't that 90s? And that's like in our not 90s category.
2000.
That's the category that gets played more. Another one is there. George Strait, Give It Away. Like we're playing that more.
My daughter has them on playlists. Like a couple years ago, she was listening to some rap kind of stuff. Now she's got like George Strait on a playlist along with some new stuff too. Her and her friends.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good because I'm playing music again. I like playing country.
Yeah, we do too.
We have that in common. I didn't know that.
I would just say, Cindy, whatever you are looking for in a vitamin, just do your research.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, do your research, see what it is that you need, and do your research for as Welch was saying too, like the real stuff versus the synthetic stuff.
Mm. You should see my cabinet. Once you go down that path, it can get out of hand. Like it takes me like 5 minutes to get that done, taking all my supplements.
Mm-hmm. And do your research. Like there are recommended things, but it might not be right for you specifically.
Right.
So look up each thing, what the side effects are, the pros and cons for each of them.
And you can get your blood
do
tested
your own thing.
online too.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I don't trust those online blood test things. I did that once.
You think they're taking your DNA?
No, I thought that I had low T, and that's when they came back with like a prostate cancer marker that was like 70,000. And I went to like a urologist. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like totally normal. It was like crazy out of whack where they wouldn't even talk to me. They were like, this is, 20,000 times what it should be.
Maybe you just
set off any red flags with anybody. Like maybe this is an error.
And I got this on a Friday, of course, and I couldn't get until I flew home from Florida to get it done. I thought I had cancer. Everything I looked up said cancer. That's usually the case. 102.9 W4 Country and Two of a Kind working on a full house. It's Garth Brooks in the Breakfast with Bubba show with Bubba and Madison Raleigh.
Good morning.
We've got that keyword in play.
The keyword is gold, GOLD. Text gold to 95819 for your chance to win.
Welch has a forecast.
We're partly sunny today and highs in the mid 70s.
That is just so nice.
Pretty nice.
We get tomorrow out of this too, or is it over?
Tomorrow we do, yes. Then
Okay.
Wednesday, no.
I'm going to make myself scarce today and tomorrow.
Do you promise?
Yeah, just enjoy this stuff going on. We have Dr. Marty here on a Monday. It's your Monday morning jumpstart. How to have a great mental health month. Number 1, find 3 people you could talk about your life with. Number 2, keep active. Number 3, up your nutrition. What's point number 4, Marty?
Point number 4 is drink sensibly versus recklessly. And so what I mean by that are the people that have the drinking issues, problems, or drug use, substance use issues, they're sort of chasing something, right? What you want to do is decide, set a number, and say, I just want to get this like calm beach buzz or whatever, rather than, let's go woohoo like you did when you were 15 years old and stole some beer. Right.
Yeah, our idea of responsible drinking is beer before liquor, never been sicker. Before beer, you're in the clear.
I'll be honest, the last I drank was Thursday. I didn't have anything this weekend. I've decided to just stop again.
Yeah, I feel better if so if I'm gonna have a couple, I find things that I'll sip that will taste bad if you drink too fast or too much, and then I had no trouble with that, like red wine or some bourbon or something.
Do you know what it did, Marty? Though maybe do something stupid. Maybe get out and rake. If I'd been drinking this weekend, I would have never ranked. I would have just sat there.
Booze was made for housework and outdoor work.
All right, what's point number 5?
Point number 5, ask for help. Some of it, if it's severe, you might not be able to do everything yourself. Humble yourself, because humility is good. We did a show on it last week, right? That makes you feel good, and it's a way for you to accept yourself, everything about you. I'm struggling right now. I can't figure out everything myself. Even doctors have to go to doctors, and I'm going to go and get some help and not be embarrassed about it.
And you even go to therapy.
When I needed, I did. When Kathy had cancer and all that stuff, I was just getting worn out. I needed somebody. So I found somebody, and she's really good.
All right, you got a bonus?
I got a bonus. Do something that you're good at. Maybe you have this hobby or skill that you haven't done in a long time. I started picking guitar again, found some friends to do it with. And that's really like added something to my life. Give me something to work on or whatever. Just do a cartwheel, if that's what you used to do. Remind yourself of.
Yeah, I'm not.
If that's
practicing yoga again, just bending over was a problem.
If you were good at it before, though, it just kind of reminds us, sort of like reconnecting with old friends. It feels really good when you do it.
Try to put my underwear on in the morning without tipping over. Thank you, Marty. Dr. Marty's here every single Monday with the Monday Morning Jumpstart, our way of saying, hey, you pay attention to this stuff. I'm going to normalize this as much as we can. We all go to therapy. We're all screwed up. Everybody is. Get help. It's out there. Thanks, Marty.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You can find Marty at drmartinfletcher.com. Time right now is 8:16. Nobody does your local roads better than we do. Madison's got a check from the Brighton Ford Traffic Center. What's up?
We are looking at some slower traffic on 94 westbound. That starts around Michigan Avenue, continues all the way through 23. We also have some heavier traffic on US 12 around 23. And on Michigan Avenue around downtown Saline. We have heavier traffic on 275 through the construction, north and southbound, sort of intermittently throughout the stretch of it. We have heavier traffic on 96 eastbound. That starts around Pleasant Valley, continues through Kent Lake. It's a bit slower moving right through Kensington. If you have a tip for us, 734-623-1029. That's the latest from the only station specializing in your local traffic, 102.9 W4 Country.
Let me guess. Unknown caller? You could reduce the